So I think we're going to jump straight into part 2. Okay. February 25th, District Court Lobby. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. God. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Go away. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Did not feel like doing much of anything for him. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. On top of it, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. I feel like we've had this conversation before. Hey, Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? The truth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the two rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You've really studied some evidence law, really. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Okay. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but this isn't easy to say. I see there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. I thought it. You just see, everyone's been talking, and, well, this is what is spineless judge. Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. The solution? That being the case. The prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. I mean, we're working together here now, so... What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement. A very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Unless, you know, it could have been that he settled a deal with the defense. I guess that would be the way. And it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Defense calls... Okay, I'm gonna actually save. Time's finally coming to bring out the real murderer. Gumshoe.
I'm back, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard
sure.
everything.
Yeah.
I just need to drop some eye drops into my eyes because I literally could not see anymore because my eyes just kept twitching.
That sucks. Well, pretty sure it's Gant. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
He's a murderer.
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Agree, Your Honor. Wink,
So
wink,
funny.
nudge, nudge.
Yeah, sure, if you say so. I trust everything you say, Edgeworth. True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. When do we get to meet the bailiff?
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Name and occupation, sir.
Nobody's ever just gives this to Edgeworth. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dork was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dork bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. The police chief has the right to refuse to testify, and I better hit him hard and fast. Okay, so, down here. So, Neil and our questioning, maybe 1, 3, 4, I'm just counting these out. Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that.
The defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room?
I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Okay, we slipped out. The power outage didn't help either. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs, I guess you could say. He got lucky.
What's this about a power outage?
Oh, that? The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that heart went into his knife. When that knife went into his heart, though. Oh, I mixed them all around. That's not funny. I went to my office, found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Oh, Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved.
So that means... you found the body near Lana's desk?
That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you're better off staring at the court record.
Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. That can't be the whole truth. So I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay, let's look through our stuff then. So we have... Just gotta explain the tools of evidence law. Let me look at this, actually. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. To the unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Don't know if that's relevant here, but it's definitely going to come up. Okay, so there's the piece of cloth that was found in Gant's safe. There's the safe itself. That's evidence all occurs in general. But there is the stuff from the safe, so. So maybe this. I don't really know what else would be relevant here. Saving. I don't know how this one is particularly relevant either, besides about the fact that it was in the safe, so that looks like it was wrong. Your Honor, that seemingly contradicts this evidence. it does. I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Okay. I think that's the same all the time. Okay. Oh, I also didn't use it on the statement, on the right statement. Whoops. I wasn't looking at the statements themselves. We are pushing in the day. To make a long story short, we slipped off that power outage. My office found Lana there. Apparently she'd already reached crime scene. See, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Okay. If he had nothing to do with the forgery, why was he hiding evidence? It's right here. There it is. I can't believe I forgot half the mechanic. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant? Explanation. Your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? I do, righto? Don't you know? The second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. Guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, I'll do it just this once. But only because you asked, Dudgy. Thank you, I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. Oh, interesting. Hmm. So if I need to, so I have to do something that was actually related to this case.
Hmm.
Okay. Single side repeat are long. I don't think it's the autopsy. Maybe, because he's listed as an executive investigator, so you can't, so, maybe, okay, I think I'm actually going to save again. Nope. Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, well, if he's if he's an investigator on the thing, then you can't deny involvement in the forgery. Rearrange crime scene. My office, I found Lana there. My long story short is up that. Oh. Trying to think, maybe something to do with something to do with the autopsy, because Neil, yeah, so Neil was still alive for like 10 minutes after the stab, so it like doesn't make sense that it was already done by the time he got there. So maybe that? But I don't know which line to do it on. Lana there. Apparently she'd already arranged the crime. I'll try it here. Nope. Maybe on the last line. Nope. Okay. Found in Gant's desk. I guess this could work. Okay. It wanted me to use... Okay, 'cause it wanted me to use evidence from the safe or from the crime scene that could still work.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
This
that's what
makes
it wanted.
sense.
Yeah. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew a picture on. Oh, yeah, so that's why it's relevant to this case already.
Mm-hmm.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? Z Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Rydell?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
You mean I'm not the only one that can decrease the salary?
I was gonna say, like, wait, you mean whose salary am I gonna cut now? What? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and the relation of the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. They were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Just right. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is... well, you know. Alright, Uchi, in return, though. I know. That place, right? What are these guys telepathic? Okay, for all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, 3, 4, 5. The Ant isn't the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yet I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice.
Damon Gant, someone's accomplice? That sounds unlikely.
Okay, so let's start pressing. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped. But Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? You have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later.
Later? What are you talking about?
What else? I'm talking about when Rido's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. Never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, not through speaking yet, Rido. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right?
You're doing the thing where you're slamming the desk. You're doing it a lot.
The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, only succeed in wasting time.
You said my remarks are clever. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Rido. Think about it. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? No, disagree with that. Really, Chief Gant, at the very least there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh? Your resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. Resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah. Be careful when pointing that finger. You might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Reggie, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. Wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Except there is something in it for you, because you got to make Juana the chief prosecutor and take control of that prosecutor's office. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again.
You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. There have been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yes. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. Okay. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Well, clearly Lana. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Lana Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the S-Online incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unlimited power. He would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
Yes.
Oh, wait. You must mean puppet isn't someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. How are you a judge? Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this, that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless... that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Or which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? That's pretty cool, actually. Order, I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's, impossible. Poor judge is about to lose his best friend. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. Yeah, Edgeworth's the one who said it.
It's too late, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, that's so funny.
There's no turning back for us now.
We go together, right? We always have. It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. All right, then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Interesting.
Would it be the log that shows his code?
Yes.
Like his ID?
Yeah, yes, you're absolutely right. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 77777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It is your number. I can't prove it, actually. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean? I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7 sevens. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Technically, that you could make the argument that maybe he just liked 7 sevens and made that the code to the safe.
I mean, you're not wrong, but look at that. He has a new expression.
This does, though. This definitely proves it. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law.
Nice.
But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? The trial's purpose is to determine Lanaskai's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth.
Bitch, I'm the judge now.
You fool. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. victim's memo found in the car trunk. Oh, I don't think we've used this.
Was it?
Yeah. E-card record. Goodman's lost item report. Have written document. This should only be submitted to the chief of police.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of that report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Yeah, actually that. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. You showed us your ID card earlier. You really lent it to Detective Goodman. It would have been found on his body.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime for no one in their right mind. Would no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder? After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you. Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need. To prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office, and all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. Okay. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. You don't think. Oh my god, it actually is that. It's gotta be. Oh my god, it's gotta be.
I don't see what else it could have been.
Oh my god, I'm gonna take this up. Oh, I can't save right now. Okay, we're going for it. Well? I see. Maybe I'll use this later to move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Huh? And I'll help you dispose of it. Oh, no, it was wrong. Okay. Wow, thanks,
Oh,
Judge.
shit.
Okay, well, now I can save.
Oh,
That's a really
funny.
good one.
Oh my god.
And
Oh,
I'll
I
help you
did
dispose
not.
of it. You're a judge.
Oh, that is great. I
Gant
did
stayed
not
at the
expect the
PD.
judge to say that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Chief Gant stayed at the PD, Alana stayed at the prosecutor's office. That leaves only one possible way he could have moved the body. And the problem is, how did he get him to do it? Maybe that piece of evidence really did have something to do with this case. Okay, my attorney's badge. Okay.
Mhm.
How did he move? He used a shoe. The gloves?
No.
Yeah, I mean, oh, maybe it's
Maybe
the
that?
maybe it is this, because this, like I mentioned on the last thing, we hadn't used this yet. I'm pretty sure.
And he said it's a useless piece of. Mm,
Nope.
no.
Nope. I'll help you dispose of it. That's so good.
Oh my god. That is great.
Oh man. That would make sense. Parking in the prosecutor's office. Entered of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered a lot at 512.
Well, that was Lana's ticket, right?
Well, no, it's Edgeworth.
Or Edgeworth. Okay.
This is Edgeworth's car, but
Mm,
that's where the body was found. I don't. We'll try it. Okay, it was Edgeworth. They moved it with Edgeworth's car.
hmm.
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. A parking stub. Miles Edgeworth.
You mean?
The body was found in the trunk of Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
You mean I carried the victim's body?
Oh my god, they hid it in his trunk and he didn't even know. Precisely so.
Oh wait, even you know. I didn't plan on returning to my office. After the ceremony finished that day.
But you did return. Tell me, why?
I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. Told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
Oh, to put the fucking screwdriver in his office.
Oh my god. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
So you see, what you were really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Oops. Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman, that's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Do the thing. Quick. Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Do we? Do we now? We got it, right? Can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. No prints.
Well, I mean, I feel like you don't have physical evidence. Your only thing is if Lana admits it. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but well, I don't even think I can go back. Goodman's ID?
No.
The knife? I want to say, well, victim's memo found in the car trunk. I mean, maybe it could be this. I'm gonna try this. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. See what I did there? But I am the judge. All right. What do you think, Your Honor? What do I think, Mr. Wright? I'm going to be late for lunch. That's what I figured. Yes, it wasn't.
And I'll dispose of your body.
Your Honor, just a little longer to consider. Say it again. Okay. Screw it. If it's giving me the choice again, then I think I actually have to say no. It's no use showing evidence if I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present I have no conclusive evidence.
Which is interesting because you always had to choose, yes, I have it, or like, you know, like you're supposed to continue.
Yeah, usually that's a choice. I think there was one or two other times where I actually did have to back down. But yeah, usually you have to continue it, but I guess in this case we actually don't have it ready. COG. In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Rido. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. That also may have been the wrong choice, but... warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
I want to ask Lady Luck to the stand. There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth, another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? I don't know.
I'm just saying shit.
Have you forgotten? Defense is the one calling witnesses.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls forth... the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st.
Because this is my thought process. Because the reason why she didn't want to say anything and just kept saying that it was her was to protect Emma. That's already in, that...
Yeah, that's gone. That's over.
Yeah, light was already shed on that. So it's like, what's preventing her from actually saying the truth now? Unless there's something else, but it's like...
Yeah, this is her best shot at, getting free from under Gant's grasp. So this is probably a good time for her to come clean. Her task to dispose of the victim's body in accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neo Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right, then. I've got a lunch date to meet. That man is guilty as fuck. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief, he's something else, eh, Bells?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore. I've had enough salary cuts. I'm just a volunteer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Don't worry. I'm already decided where to work now. At your office.
What? My office?
Sure.
I can't afford you.
I'll be a bodyguard. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
I'm okay. What do you mean? Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves. Oh, this is you.
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now.
That's how I did it.
Chief Gant's done it again. Was he always getting the upper hand?
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. He's literally above the law.
Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Oh, it's Emma. I don't know why I assumed it was Lana, but
Yeah, same.
It's just
I
like-
assumed it was her. It
but
would've
every
made
time you see
sense.
the question mark, you kind of have to just take a shot, you know?
Yeah,
Emma, are you okay?
yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. Been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. I didn't remember them actually saying that she passed out, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I think she passed out because she got pushed off the podium. Like, yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's because Lana pushed her off the podium,
Where
right?
Lana, yeah.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved I killed him.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened.
And the next time I kill someone, it won't be my first time, so, you know.
To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. She did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she'd changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean?
I'm not allowed at the trials anymore.
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. Yep.
Yep.
Because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now.
Everyone kills someone at some point.
Even me. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery. But he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. Even though I said I remember everything like 20 times, I remember it now.
Now I remember. I see.
Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, right? Time to end this.
Okay. One more court session
Sweet.
left in this
Wow.
game.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
That it has. That it has.